DJ's True Crime 2026, turn the lights down low, let the darkness mix. Midnight whispers on an old back road. Every secret's got a story untold. Cold case files and a smoking gun. Truth runs deep where the shadows run. Footsteps echo in an empty hall. Somebody's watching from behind the wall. Red string tied to a photograph. Broken clocks in a shattered past. Every clue's just one more fix. Welcome to 2026. DJ's True Crime 2026. Twisted tales and dangerous tricks. Every lie's got a heavy price. Roll the tape, let's roll the dice. Heartbeat racing, ticking ticks. Truth cuts deep like sharpened sticks. If you're brave, come take your fix. DJ's True Crime 2026. Headlines screaming in black and white. City sirens in the dead of night. Coffee cold on a cluttered desk. One more name on the suspect list. Footprints fade in the falling rain. Every witness recalls the same. A fleeting face, a shadowed mix. Another mystery in 26. Maps on the wall with pins stuck in. Where do we start and where's it end? Truth don't sleep and neither do I. Chasing ghosts that never die. DJ's True Crime 2026. Secrets buried in the politics. Truth is sharper than it looks. Hidden deep between the books. Turn it up, let the story stick. Every twist hits hard and quick. Stay tuned for the final fix. DJ's True Crime 2026. In the midnight city where the neon lights glow. DJ's on the mic and the whole world knows. From the streets to the sky where the blue flames fly. We ride together strong, never asking why. Hear the beat of the drums like a dragon's roar. Every step we take makes the crowd want more. Through the fire in the night, we stand as one. When the music hits hard, that's when we run. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Rising through the night, breathing blue fire, burning bright in the light. Hear the crowd scream loud when the bass drops hard. Stand up, stand proud for the Blue Dragon Squad. And the sound where the legends grow. Every beat we drop makes the whole place glow. From the underground vibes to the main stage flame. Blue dragons flying high in the game. Hear the thunder roll when the speakers pound. Feel the energy shaking the ground. Every soul in the room feels the spark ignite. Blue dragons rising in the night. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Rising through the night, breathing blue fire, burning bright in the light. Hear the crowd scream loud when the bass drops hard. Stand up, stand proud for the Blue Dragon Squad. Dragon Squad. No fear, no change, just the rhythm we ride. Blue flames in our hearts, got the squad by our side. When the night falls down and the music's loud, you'll hear the roar of the dragon crowd. We are DJ's Blue Dragon Squad. Hear the legend call. Blue fire rising as the shadows fall. Hands in the air while the beat hits hard. Forever we ride. Blue Dragon Squad.
Sweet boy Sebastian, where are you? The stars stayed up all night waiting too. The next morning your mama came up. You weren't there, your room was empty. Sweet boy Sebastian, where'd you go? Room was still left the same as it was. The whole world has been searching, but there was no evidence of where you went. The wind whistles softly in the night and morning. It hums your name and hums the song of I am the tiger. It's so quiet without your laughter and smile. Life gets harder and harder every day. Sweet boy Sebastian, where have you gone? Everyone has searched through forests and water and near your house with no sighting or sin. If you're hiding, come out and come back. Sebastian, your dad is worried, and so is the whole wide world. Sebastian, where are you? Please show us signs wherever you may be. We are your army, sweet boy Sebastian, so please come home. So please.
Hello, can everyone hear me? And can everyone see me? Put a thumbs up in the chat or a 1 in the chat. And for those in the bushes, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't. And also share my channel out into the YouTube algorithm to get my channel out there. Please and thank you. Jacob, I'm going to allow you up. Oh, darn. Here you go. Come on up, big boy. Really, Jacob? We're just
Hello there.
more people to come in, and then we'll get started. How is everyone's day going? Hi, Linda. And also, I'm going to drop my PayPal link in the chat. And if anyone would like to help donate, that would be very much appreciated. But it's never expected. Again, if you would like to help donate to my PayPal, that would be very much appreciated. But it's never expected. Here's my PayPal link. There you go. And yeah, we're just gonna wait for a few more people to come in before we get started. Please, people, click the thumbs up. Help me gain subscribers. It would be very much appreciated. Okay. Well, we will get started. Hopefully more people come in. I'm going to share my screen. We're going to watch a little bit of what Lolly had to say in one of her past streams. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. So we will get started again, and hopefully it works.
Hey everybody, how y'all doing? Thank y'all for coming in. I noticed a while ago that the time changed on it. I had it set for 7 p.m. and I left and went to town. And then I noticed it was set for 12:30 today. And I've had to put it back up, go back into it, but it is I don't know if anybody's ever seen or had one, but it's like the whole eye is covered.
Just waiting
with it.
I'm just trying to find the
one
part.
Last week. I have had 2 today. So we're gonna see if any more comes in. I know Justin, I think, is going live about. Probably got a lot to do with that. So anyways, and my nose is drippy today. Here. Hi, Bonnie. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you coming in. You did not get a notification? Oh, no, Cherise. Well,
no.
Something happened, and somehow it went to 12:30 today. I don't know what happened. You heard that the other day?
Here's the part.
You may not like his father. You may not like Seth Rogers as a person, but that man is not the one creating havoc and all this kind of stuff, trying to figure out, to divert from, to distract from finding this child.
Which CP and KP are the ones distracting from finding Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, which is not good. They need to stop distracting people and just say the truth.
And I've told people over and over and over, okay, show me something. If you don't like Seth, you think he's involved, okay, show it to me. Show me what you got. Because I want to look at all angles. I want to be fair. I want every bit of it laid out in front of me. And I
don't think Seth is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian at all. In my opinion, I don't think so.
I want to know the truth. I don't want to sit on here and pick and choose who I'm talking about. I don't want to pick sides. But nobody's coming up with anything related to Seth. And guys, right here, I'm not joking, in their words, not blood related, but through marriage.
There you go, you guys.
Not blood related. That means not his
That's what I wanted to show you guys on Lolly's channel, on what she had to show. So I'm gonna go. Now I'm gonna play a video.
Hi, Linda.
That I had found on YouTube. News station. If one of my mods can drop the link in my chat for news station, that would be very much appreciated. Thank you.
Joining us, I'm Marnie Hughes, and this is Missing on News Nation. Each week, we cover a missing person case, no matter their race, religion, background, or circumstances, because every missing person matters, has a story, and has someone who cares about them. Many of the cases we cover come from you, and we thank you for that. Several cases to update you on before we get to this week's featured case of Sebastian Rogers. First, the disappearance of Anna Maria Knezovich remains a mystery, but a major piece of that puzzle may have now fallen into place. Police this week arrested Anna's estranged husband, David Knezovich. He was taken into custody in Miami in connection with her disappearance. She was reported missing in February after she failed to meet a friend to travel from Madrid to Barcelona. Concerns then escalated when Spanish authorities found no evidence of a robbery during a search of Anna's apartment. The disappearance happened the same night an unidentified individual was spotted vandalizing security cameras in her apartment building with spray paint. According to a new affidavit in the case, the man caught on camera resembles the estranged husband, Knezovich. Court documents now reveal that another camera captured a man appearing to be David Knezovich purchasing a spray paint bottle and 2 rolls of duct tape. Just 15 years old, and he is on the
Excuse me, sir. How old were you when you made your first million?
What is this for?
We're trying to get advice for the younger generation.
on the autism spectrum, and he was reported missing on February 26th from his home in Hendersonville. That is in Sumner County, Tennessee. Sebastian's mom says that he was gone when she went to wake him up for school that day. Police say there has been no evidence of foul play, and the family is cooperating. Authorities have scoured miles of land looking for Sebastian, but there have been no leads to this point. There was a recent picture that got the family's hopes up of a teen resembling Sebastian. It was circulating on the internet. Sebastian's dad was hopeful it was him. However, it turns out it is not. That picture is a fake, an AI-generated image, according to the sheriff's department. Now, in early April, law enforcement said that they were still actively searching for Sebastian, and at this point, they're not ruling anything out.
Enforcement has not, drawn any conclusions. So we need to keep hope up and keep praying for this young teen and his parents and his dad that, he's going to be found. We just got to keep the faith.
Meantime, volunteers with the United Cajun Navy also joined in this search early on at the family's request, but they pulled back after they started receiving some threats. I spoke with one of the members of that search group about the unusual challenges they have faced looking for Sebastian.
The threats have been coming both in person, by phone, and also online. So we have multiple places that we're dealing with this, but we have turned over information to the local authorities so they can take action.
In the meantime, Sebastian's biological dad, Seth Rogers, says he hopes the FBI gets involved in the search for his son.
I don't know all I know is that he has disappeared out of his mama's house, and it's my job to find him and bring him home.
What happened to Sebastian? Joining me now is former FBI agent and News Nation law and justice contributor Jennifer Koffendorfer. Jennifer, the timeline of this case is peculiar. The circumstances around it, the police say no foul play. What stands out to you at this point in this investigation?
Well, I think what stands out to me is, Marnie, it's been 2.5 months. And not only do we not have any signs of life regarding Sebastian. We also have no signs of foul play. So basically, at this point, it seems like he vanished. And that's very peculiar in a case like this for 2.5 months to go by with really no clue.
Take us back to the beginning of this investigation. What we knew at the time in February was Sebastian's mom went to check on him, get him up for school. He wasn't there. His shoes were left at the door. His cell phone, all the other things that a teenager would have were left behind. When investigators show up to look for a kid in these circumstances, an Amber Alert was issued. What happens immediately?
Well, immediately, canvass of that neighborhood has to be done, and it has to be done correctly, where basically every house in that neighborhood is gone to, where it's searched, where all possible areas he could leave and go to would be searched. Secondarily, and really I should say just as importantly, it's important to get a bloodhound or a scent dog on his scent immediately. And that's for the purpose of seeing if he can be traced outside of that door and what steps he might have taken. Obviously, also video camera and footage that might have been taken in and around that neighborhood could prove quite important. Yet still, all of these possible avenues have gone.
And speaking of vanishing, you don't just vanish. You're not a ninja. You're not a ghost. You don't just vanish from your front porch. What does that mean by vanish? You float away? You turn into dust? No, you don't vanish. He didn't just go kapoof. It doesn't work that way. In my opinion, there was foul play. And in my opinion, CP and KP and I believe others are involved in the disappearance of Sebastian. But this whole case does not make sense. KP and CP, where is Sebastian?
And led nowhere.
Does it surprise you investigatively that nothing has turned up, that any clues so far?
It really does surprise me. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of innuendo and actual straight out allegations regarding the family's involvement. But really, law enforcement is forced to follow clues. Even though things may seem awry, the statements made by family might be completely out of order. It's just they have to follow the facts. And they have said there is no sign of foul play.
And police say the family is cooperating, no finger pointing from mom or dad. They just want to find their son right now. I do find it peculiar that the United Cajun Navy was asked to get involved early on. We've worked with them on a lot of missing cases, and they called off their participation in the search because they were receiving threats. What do you make of that?
Well, that is not only peculiar, but it's really outlandish. We hate to see these volunteer groups, and that's what they are, Marnie. No one is expecting these services
no, I did
to
not.
be,
I'll have to check it out.
professionally trained even. But what you do need are boots on the ground, people to spread flyers out, people to post flyers, and people to walk these wooded areas in and around where he was. When other people start intimidating those volunteers leave, and it takes so many steps backwards on these investigations.
You know, law enforcement has a tough job, and they're often very protective of what they know. Do you believe that police investigating this know more than they're sharing at this point?
I do, Marnie. I think they know much more that they haven't shared. This is one of the really tighter-lipped investigations we've seen in these types of cases. They really aren't saying anything. It took them almost 2 weeks to come out with the negative, the information that it was negative, in meaning not Sebastian Rogers in that photo. Meanwhile, a lot of people really had hope, including the parents. So I'm just, they don't obviously owe anybody an explanation, Marnie. But when these types of figures and photos come out, I think it is so important to let the public know as early as possible, no, this is not him.
Right. So it's an AI photo. It immediately gets the family's hope up. We believed it was from North Carolina, and the sheriff's department came forward and said that this is a fake photo. But it does beg the question as to crossing of state lines in an Amber Alert. How do law enforcement broach that issue?
Well, in these types of situations, thankfully, they have gotten the FBI involved. The FBI is assisting. They're not leading the investigation. Also, TBI is involved. But they closely work together so that any leads that come out, such as this, immediately that jurisdiction where this photo was allegedly taken could be contacted. That video footage could be called. So it's so important for everyone to work in lockstep on these cases.
How do law enforcement's resources dwindle after more time passes in a case like this?
Well, they dwindle, Marnie. Make no mistake, particularly these local departments. They have only so many officers. And remember, they have a lot of other responsibilities that have nothing to do with looking for missing that they are trying to keep up with. And as time goes on, the case becomes colder and colder. And instead of having active, proactive investigation, you move to reactive. And that is where a clue will come in and you'll follow it instead of proactively looking.
What is the threshold, Jennifer, for local law enforcement, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and local police to ask for more assistance from the FBI, for example?
Well, the threshold is going to be where they literally have no clues coming in. They feel like they are at a complete standstill, and they might ask for additional resources to, as an example, spread further their ground search. But in this case, they've called off the ground search, Marnie. And so unfortunately, that tells me they are just working from an intelligence base and trying to develop those clues into possibly finding him. It's not leading anywhere, Marnie.
The family has shared that Sebastian is on the spectrum. How does that factor into investigators' search?
It's a huge factor because people who are on the spectrum, young children like this, we've seen this before. Connor Jack Oswald comes to mind, you may recall. He left when he was only 17, and he just up and left, and then was later recovered 2.5 years later, over 2.5 years later. I know you covered that story well. The last case I ever worked as an FBI agent involved a child on the spectrum, and he too just left. Even though a lot of people thought that the family might have been involved, they were not involved. So I think it's very important to pay special attention to the fact he's on the autism spectrum may invoke different behavior than someone who is not.
Many families feel as though they hit a dead end after dead end, and they turn to private investigators. I know Sebastian's family has done that as well. They've also brought on people to act as a spokesperson for the family. Talk about the mentality of folks feeling as though they need to ask for outside help. And does that actually lead to answers in cases like this?
I think it can be helpful. People, though, who have this sort of experience, FBI agents that have worked these sort of missing cases for years, you want to really get somebody that's very well vetted and has the experience.
Which LE and the FBI are having tons of trouble trying to find Sebastian because KP and CP will not tell the truth, in my opinion, and allegedly.
Experience for two reasons. One, they know how to conduct these investigations, but secondarily, they're going to be able to better establish rapport with the local department. When a department is still working a case, though, a private investigation situation can get in the way, and they can be basically given the cold shoulder by law enforcement. So it's difficult because PIs just don't have the tools law enforcement officers do.
You know, it can be dangerous to theorize, but also can play forward possible scenarios. Do you have any theories in this case as you look at the evidence?
This is a case, Marnie, that is troubling to me. It's troubling to me because the circumstances don't quite smell right from the standpoint of where could this child have gone to and never have been seen. So whenever I see something like that, yes, I am very troubled. But there are other circumstances that lead me to believe it is at least possible that he wandered off. And I say that because there has been literally not a clue, Marnie, that the family was involved, and their house has been searched and scoured. So for that reason, I still have great pause that the family was involved.
And if he did wander off, they issued an Amber Alert. What does that tell you?
In my opinion, he did not wander off. There's no evidence of him wandering off, especially if the doors were locked. How would he have locked the doors if he had ran off? It wouldn't make any sense.
Well, the fact that they issued an Amber Alert, law enforcement believes that he could not have left and gone a long distance on his own, that he would have had to have been picked up and kept in like a kidnapping situation and taken. But then I still find it interesting that not one person has seen hide nor hair of him. Again, that leads us back to the origination, Marnie. What happened in that house? There's only one witness, I should say two, and that is Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian Rogers.
What's the public's role in a case like this, Jennifer, not just in Tennessee, around Hendersonville where Sebastian lived, but elsewhere, to keep their eyes and ears out for any clues?
You know, Marnie, I always say people on social media have such a powerful tool, no matter whether they're TikTokers or Instagrammers or Facebookers, it doesn't matter. Everyone who puts his name and his photo out there, it proliferates, Marnie. And that is something everyone can help with. Even if it can't be boots on the ground, you are providing significant information, and somebody just might see him that recognizes that photo, and it's not an AI photo. It would possibly actually be him.
Yeah, the more attention, the better in every case.
Correct. No evidence of him in the house. So where did he go? He didn't turn invisible.
Jennifer Coffendorfer, I appreciate you reading in on this one. And as always, thank you for your expertise and your experience. It means the world.
Thank you, Marnie.
And again, there is an active alert in the case and search for Sebastian Rogers. If you have any information that can help in the search for this young man from Tennessee, you can contact the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, 1-800-TBI-FIND. And make sure you join us next week as we investigate the disappearance of...
Okay, now I go here. His mom is responsible for this. Sebastian Rogers' dad talks to Court TV. Let's listen to this one.
Salads for your fast-paced lifestyle that nourish you and give you the energy to do everything you love. Salads that
Sebastian Rogers. The 15-year-old disappeared in the middle of the night on February 25th. His mother was the last person to see him and says that he left the house without any shoes on and just a flashlight. So where is he? Searchers continue looking for Sebastian. And this morning, we have a very special guest joining us on the program, Sebastian Rogers' biological father, Seth Rogers. Seth, good morning to you. And might I just start by both saying thank you and just that my heart and the hearts of all of our wonderful viewers really go out to you. The agony that you're going through, I can't even imagine. I've seen you do some interviews, and I've been so amazed at how resilient you are. And you've talked about how nothing is going to make you give up hope. Tell us, please, where's that drive coming from?
My son. He's my life. He's my heart. He's not here. And I'm not complete unless I have him. So it's the drive to be whole again.
I applaud you for holding out hope, being so resilient, being positive, and who knows what can happen with this investigation, and any day could be the day Sebastian comes home. From your perspective, Seth, how satisfied are you with the investigation being done by TBI?
My son's not here. They have no evidence. They haven't. Sumner County is the one that's like doing it. TBI is assisting. I've asked TBI to take it over. They haven't yet. There's just things that I don't think have been done.
What would you like to be done, Seth, that hasn't been?
I have a list of stuff, but I don't know if they've done it or not. I mean, there's been questions that have been asked and things that have been answered. It's really hard to have evidence if certain protocols aren't being followed. You have to start back over from day one.
Going back to day one, so Sebastian goes to sleep the evening of February 25th. It's on the morning of the 26th that your ex-wife finds that he's not in his bedroom. She is the only one said to be home. And Sebastian could have vanished sometime in the hours from when she last saw him go to sleep and from the time she opened the door. There's a window there overnight. Your best guess, Seth, based on how well you know your son, what do you think happened to Sebastian?
He's not the type to put on, he's not the type to leave the house without putting on socks and shoes. As for running away or leaving, he didn't take his backpack. He didn't take his switch. He didn't take his phone. I mean, just doesn't make sense. And he's not one to wander. He's never eloped before.
Are you leaning towards a potential kidnapping?
Anything is speculation at this point in time, because there is no, as they have said, evidence that leads towards foul play. But there's things that just don't add up. His mother was the last one to see him. She's responsible for this, either through negligence at the bare minimum.
Has she been a good mother to Sebastian?
Not in my opinion. This is the third time that my son's come up missing now under her watch.
In my opinion, and allegedly, she was a rude mother. She was a disgusting mother, in my opinion. She doesn't want her son found. In my opinion, she doesn't want anything to do with her son. He's autistic. She treats him like shit. What kind of parent does that to a special needs child? It honestly makes me sick to my stomach.
Time before that, her and Chris let my son get molested and raped in their apartment. And the time before that, I did a well-care check because she let a known sex offender who, yes, did their 9 years in prison, but she left my son around that person. You don't do that. If you're a parent, you don't do that. You're supposed to protect your kid. You don't put them in where they can get in any type of harm's way.
Seth, you said something very upsetting, very shocking, and I just want to go back just a moment. You said that your wife allowed your son, Sebastian, your ex-wife, I should say, your ex-wife allowed Sebastian to be in a situation where he was molested and raped?
In California, and Chris in her apartment. They let a child who was 5 years older than my son play with my son and didn't bother to check on him.
In my opinion, that's just sick. Why would you not check on your son or your child otherwise when there's another child that's way older than your kid and not check on them? That is just mind-blowing to me.
Neither. And he lost his innocence because of it.
Seth, I'm so sorry to hear this. I'm so sorry to hear this. No child should be subjected to any kind of abuse whatsoever. Sexual abuse can be especially traumatic for a young child. Is this something that Sebastian has struggled with since then?
Yeah, I finally was able to actually start getting him therapy for it last year. The fact is that they weren't doing the correct thing, clearing California. And it's just last year finally getting him help because he's a victim. And now I'm finding out not only was, he was a victim of that, he's a victim of not getting the help he needs. And, I've listened to some of their podcasts where they make fun of him, make fun of his dancing. Chris obviously has this thing about corporal discipline with him. And it's just, it's not good.
Seth, I'm so sorry.
I need to find my son.
Right.
And he's going to need extensive therapy now to put him back on the right track.
Yes. Was Sebastian the one who told you about the sexual abuse that had happened?
His mother did, and my son did. This happened in California, so Sheriff's Department, CPS was involved. Sheriff's Department was involved there. They wouldn't give me the kid's name, his last name. But at least the only thing I was able to do there was put the detective over that case in contact with the school psychologist so that at least they could protect the other children from this child.
Right. So no juvenile proceedings commenced or anything like that, Seth, with this child. He wasn't brought to juvenile court.
No, in California.
The child is too young to be convicted of a crime.
Kid's 13, they're like, he's too young to prosecute. And they wouldn't do anything about the parents either.
Seth, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. My heart breaks for you for so many reasons, and this is just one more of those reasons. Tell me, please, Seth, what else do you want the public to know, as people all over are hoping and praying for your son Sebastian's safe return?
Yeah, I'm just looking for him. I need people to help. I'm just one person. I can do a lot, but I can't do everything. And I have to find him.
Absolutely. You have to find him. And we will continue doing everything we can here at Court TV to help you find him, putting his picture out there, video, talking about him. And hopefully he is somewhere where he can be brought home safe to you soon. Seth Rogers, thank you so much for this talk. Thank you for sharing all of those things. I know it's not easy. Every good wish as you hopefully bring Sebastian home safe soon.
Thank you.
Do you owe more than...
And when have any of you guys ever seen KP and CP upset about Sebastian being missing? To me, if they really haven't done anything, they wouldn't be hiding things. They wouldn't be changing up their stories. Someone who tells the truth, stories don't change. Someone who lies, stories do change. And it's disgusting. Now let's go find another video. I'm trying to find where the video is at that I had. Just 1 minute. I'm trying to find it. Exactly. Here it is.
I've never lost hope. My son is missing. He is not dead.
18 months later, and the mystery remains about what happened to this young man, Sebastian Rogers. The now 16-year-old seemingly vanished from his Hendersonville home in February of 2024. Patsy Montesino spoke with Sebastian's father, who is keeping the faith his son is still alive.
I want answers. Where's my son?
This father's love keeps his efforts to find his son going. Sebastian Rogers went missing in February of 2024.
I've got a lot of memories of my son, but I'm not done making memories. And that's the point.
During the first few weeks, there were massive search efforts looking for the autistic teen. But as time passed, they stopped. Now his dad, Seth Rogers, feels frustrated with law enforcement. He says they're not doing enough.
Nobody's been arrested, and my son hasn't been found.
That's why he's standing outside the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
so I can look at that window so I can see them if they come out.
Joined by other supporters.
I am part of Team Sebastian. I just want answers. The community deserves to have answers.
Demanding another agency like the FBI get involved. I reached out to the Sumner County Sheriff with these concerns. In a statement, he said this is an active investigation. He says they continue to follow leads and coordinate with the FBI and TBI. He asked you to share the official Amber Alert poster and call them with any information as quickly as you can.
I think about Sebastian every single day. And it has gone on for way too long now. When we reached the 1 year anniversary, I couldn't believe it. And the fact that we're almost 2 years into it is so sad.
Those outside the office hope that by showing up, they can bring more attention to Sebastian's case and find any information that may lead to him.
I've never lost hope. My son is missing. He is not dead.
Seth says he will stay outside until at least Friday.
I haven't left. Don't plan on leaving. I want my son found.
Reporting in Sumner County.
And tell us what you're doing to find him.
I'm Patsy Montesinos.
Sheriff Craddock, we need answers.
News Channel 5.
In my opinion, they should have... Darn it. What was I going to say? In my opinion, okay, if Sebastian does come back home at 18, because of KP's and CP's words, saying when Sebastian comes back home at 18, he's going to need a lot of mental health help. In my opinion, and allegedly, what if that does happen? What if he does come home? Then they definitely did have something to do with his disappearance, and they can definitely get caught. I just hope they get caught sooner than later. Oh, let's listen to this. I haven't heard this.
I'd like to believe that he is safe and, like Kaylee Jones, is waiting to return when he's 18. And I think that's interesting because Chris made it a point to say, did you know there's a law in Tennessee where if you're a parent and you take your child and then you bring him back, it's only a misdemeanor. So I think that's where their heart is too. I think that they want to believe and they think that Sebastian is somewhere else. They mentioned Texas and California as places of interest. Now I will say, if the FBI is involved, I'm sure they've staked out multiple locations, right? I don't know.
Just give me a quick minute. I'll check right now. Oh, goodness. Oh, my... My gosh. Alrighty then. Thanks for that. There's one more video I wanted to show before we end it for the day. So are you guys just trying to find the video? Sebastian Rogers. Okay. No. If I can't find it, then I'll show it tomorrow. Yeah, I can't find it for some reason. Let's see what time I'm at. Dog bounty hunter Dwayne Dog Chapman joins search for Sebastian Rogers. Here it is. I found it.
Well, celebrity bounty hunter is now joining the search for missing teen Sebastian Rogers and is also raising the reward money. Several agencies, including the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, leading searches for the teen before eventually scaling back. Well, Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, tells News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry his team will get answers.
In the last 6 months, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, along with several other agencies, searched for a little over a week before officials said they were scaling back to focus efforts on the investigative side. Following the search for Riley Strain, search groups like the United Cajun Navy have helped look.
The outpouring was just so strong for us to stay and look for Sebastian. We said, you know what, since we're here, let's do it.
But that team withdrew from search efforts with no sign of Sebastian. Bullhorn Betty, a true crime social media influencer, also joined in on the search efforts, supporting Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers.
Our opinions are that a few people have more information than what they're saying.
Since Sebastian first went missing, his father, Seth, has not given up on searching for his son.
The search that we're doing today is a recovery effort, and I'm praying that we don't find him.
Now, celebrity bounty hunter Dwayne Chapman, known as Dog, has stepped in to help Seth.
This is one of the most horrendous cases of missing children that we've ever worked on.
Law enforcement has not said anything criminal happened to Sebastian, but Dog says he wants to find anyone responsible for Sebastian's disappearance.
The bottom line is, if you hurt a child like this, you've got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this.
Dog and his team created a new missing persons flyer for Sebastian Rogers. In it, they explain how they're working independently from law enforcement, reevaluating the information collected and following up on new leads. They also say they've added $50,000 more to the reward, making a total of $100,000.
You know, because that is a lot of money. I don't care if you're rich, you know, that's a lot of money.
Dog tells me he believes that by working with Seth, following up on leads, and an increase in the reward money, they will find the answers they've been looking for.
You can run, but you can't hide who did it. We're going to find out.
In Nashville, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
I wouldn't want to mess around with Dog the Bounty Hunter, that's for sure. Well, how did everyone like my stream today? Thank you. Oh, and you guys, before I go, I would like to show a little something to get you guys laughing. Just 1 minute. Here we go. Look at those two clowns. Isn't that just lovely? The two clowns that like to lie a lot. Two perfect couple of clowns. Not. Hey, Jacob, did you see?
Yes, funny.
Well, for those in the bushes, please hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't, and also share my channel out into the YouTube algorithm to help me gain more subscribers. And until next time, folks, peace.
Thank you for the live, DJ. Did a good job.
You're welcome.
Bye-bye.